Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm the host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Harley Quinn Season 3, Episode 8, Batman Begins Forever. We'll get into that title and everything. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you want to know, well, if you feel like gambling, you can hit that bell down below and YouTube may or may not notify you. Best thing to do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule that I have up there. I change it out every week. Also have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. All right, let's get to it, shall we? Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. All right. Yes. I'm giving you enough time to pause, stop, whatever you need to do. All right. So this is actually a really damn good episode, I have to admit. Besides the fact of all the parody stuff that was going on. And by the way, I just realized that last episode called Another Sharkby's Adventure, they missed the they really did miss the opportunity to call it Sharky's Machine, which would have been fucking hilarious. But I guess if they do another King Shark centric episode, they can also call that Sharky's Machine as well. So but anyway, this one's called Batman Begins Forever. Remember, Harley had kidnapped Bruce Wayne at the end of the last episode to find out where Frank is. And so they've got him tied up, hanging upside down. And Harley's beating the fuck out of him, trying to get him to talk. And he's not saying shit because, of course, he's Batman. You know, he's used to getting the shit kicked out of him. So Ivy decides to go all violent on him and she wraps him in vines with, thorns on them and stuff like that. And she brings a thorn right towards his eye and he doesn't even blink. And they're like, fuck, how in the hell are we going to get him to talk? So, of course, who do they think of? Dr. Psycho, who is in the Arkham Asylum working on his podcast of all things. And I'm glad to see Dr. Psycho coming back into the fold here. So Dr. Psycho comes in. They need to go into Bruce Wayne's mind to find out where the fuck Frank is. And yeah, this was just fun. I mean, and I love how King Shark's like, nope, I didn't bring any, motion sickness pills this time around. So I'm going to sit outside and watch the bodies for you while you guys are inside fucking around in his head. And of course, he's just playing video games the entire time is all he's doing. Oh man. So yeah, they go into Bruce Wayne's mind and it's even more fucked up than we can imagine. So it's basically him reliving just one moment over and over and over again. It's his parents getting killed. Um Raymond says, I always thought that Catwoman told them Bruce was Batman. No, she never did. Hey, Mercenary, by the way. Hello. Um, no, Catwoman never told them that. She alluded to it a couple of times, but she never told them. But yeah, I mean, fuck. And of course, Dr. Psycho being a therapist, Harley Quinn being a therapist, they're both like, and she's like, holy fuck, I've heard about this, but I've never thought I'd actually see this. Is a reverse repressed memory, is what she said. And it's basically where he's just taken one memory, reliving it over and over again, and all other memories have been wiped out of his mind, supposedly. So yeah, so she tries to shield him from Joe Chill or that version of Joe Chill in his mind. And of course, he just replicates. He's everywhere and trying to kill Harley. And at one point, she promises, little Bruce Wayne that she'll be his therapist, and help him out. And he ejects everyone else out of his mind except for Harley. And they end up in this hallway. Well, first they fall into a well, and of course, the bats and all that kind of stuff. And we see this hallway with all these different windows carved into the walls, and these are all his memories. And I love how we're getting stuff from Batman Begins. We get lines from Batman Begins. We got Batman 66 in there too when he's running with the the giant bomb and he's trying to on the ship and trying to find a place to throw it. And then or on the pier, I should say. We also got Batman Begin or excuse me, not Batman Begins. So what was after the Tim Burton Batman, the second Batman? We got that in there too. We got a whole bunch of different Batman versions in there, and says, "Yeah, it was kind of crazy for a couple of years." But we also get to see like him saving people and stuff like that. And Harley kind of appreciates that what he does, as a hero and the hero stuff. Joe Chill ends up finding them in there, and of course they dive into one of the memories, and it's a memory where Harley is in it. When she was working with Mr. J, back when he had the smeared kind of makeup on and stuff like that, and she becomes Robin tied to that gigantic rocket. And I thought it was kind of funny the whole thing. Once she gets freed and she starts fighting herself and kicking her own ass and she says like, "Hey, this hero stuff isn't that half bad." And Batman goes, "You look good in that outfit." She's in the Robin outfit. She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "But I always could rock booty shorts, although this is more of a thong." And she shows it's a flash and you missed it. It's just butt cheeks is all it is with a thong riding up her ass. And that was one of the most hilarious things in this episode was that whole butt cheek thing. Uh Mercenaries, I think the younger Bruce was his subconscious mind. Yes and no. Mercenary, he had forced that to the forefront, I think, to in order to keep Harley and Ivy out is what was going, or keep Dr. Psycho out. So, of course, Harley finds out that he's Batman, and she says, "Hey," she goes, "I will help you, get through this shit because it's not healthy." One, and patient client privilege. I'm not going to tell anybody you're Batman. And she ends up finding out that Joe Chill, or this version of Joe Chill in his head, is also Bruce Wayne. And it's because he blames himself, of course, for his family um, being murdered because he says, "Hey, my dad said we should go to the shareholders meeting. I wanted to go to the movie, so I forced them to go to the movie. They wanted to take the limo home. I said, hey, let's walk through Crime Alley." So he puts all of this on himself. So it's one of those things that we've heard it time and time again, but this is a more of a graphical representation, I guess you can say, and really kind of hits you hard when you start looking at it. And I'm like, wow, that's actually, they did a really good job of this. Raymond says, I liked when Batman was asking Alfred about fashion tips on his outfits. Are my ears too big? Yeah, yeah. I think my ears are too big. Yeah, that was actually pretty funny. So they had some good stuff in here. And she decides that she's going to help him outside in the real world because it's too fucked up in his mind to help him there. And so when he does release her and she comes out into the world again and he wakes up, of course the Bat family has already taken them hostage. And also he does tell her why he abducted Frank, because originally it was to stop Poison Ivy's plan, but then he found out that Frank cannot just resurrect plants, but he has augmented Frank in a way so that Frank can resurrect people, and he wants to resurrect his parents and undo the damage, the psychological damage, which is already years in at this point, which so yeah, he ends up hooking up Frank to a coffin of sorts that's plugged into the ground. And when he ends up turning it on, he creates zombies. That's what he's done. Yeah, Batman has fucked up Gotham even more by creating zombies now at this point. And it's not just his parents, it's the entire fucking graveyard that's out there that starts rising from the dead. So yeah, it's not it's really not the most ideal of circumstances. Mercenary says this is therapeutic for Batman and Harley during that fight. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it definitely was. Movie for Nobi. Hey, Heather and I are about to watch now, still in New York City. Yes, see ya. Have a good one. Um, So yeah, the this was a really good episode. Seeing them uh kind of connect in this way, and Harley seeing what it's like to be a hero, because we already saw that she was going into the anti-hero realm anyway as it was. So having her go further into it is actually pretty good. Batman, he's kind of a villain now in a way because he's released a whole bunch of fucking zombies. So now he needs to redeem himself again even further, but now in Gotham's eyes because of what he's done. So, and this is going to carry over, of course, in the next episode. So this is where we're at this point. Yes, mercenary Batman did start Blackest Night, only without without the superheroes. I did my favorite line out of all of this was like when Harley does find out that he's Batman, goes, "Holy shit, you're Batman!" She goes, "Holy shit, you're," and he goes, "I'm Batman," is what little Bruce says, and he says, "You won't believe who Superman is," and he kind of looks up at her and smiles, and she just kind of looks at him expectantly, like to say what it's gonna, and of course he doesn't. But I thought that was pretty funny. That was actually kind of my favorite line out of all of that. But, good stuff, man. I mean, this is actually one of those really, really well-written episodes, and not only that, it was also the whole Batman the Animated Series look to it, um, putting in, like I said, all the different movies, the TV series as well. All of that just kinda mixed into one 22, 28 minute episode. Really well done. Very, very well done. And it's a reason why they're getting a season four. So, yes, they have been greenlit for a season four. That's already been confirmed as of yesterday. So, awesome news. And I'm really glad this is happening. This is a good show. This is a really good show. So, Raymond South, like how Clayface was trying to talk to Thomas. Yeah, exactly. The whole thing. What are you feeling right before you're about to die? What? And he gets shot. This is actually pretty bloody too. I mean, there was a lot of fucking blood in this one too. Um, I mean, Joe Chill gets dismembered quite a few times by Harley. Man. And there's headshots and there's all kinds of stuff. Also, my other favorite thing too was when King Shark, they're like, "You're just over there playing video games in the corner." He goes, "If I don't play video games, I get stressed out. When I get stressed out, I start losing my." And he's like, "Okay, I gotta leave. I'm gonna go to my own kingdom, and I'm gonna leave." And he goes outside the door, and he gets onto a litter that's being bared by other shark men, and he gets and as the door closes, Doctor Psycho's like, "What the fuck was that about?" So we answer that whole question that yes, King Shark is now the king of his realm because he killed his own brother. So that's not gonna, that's not gonna change. There was a lot of stuff in all of this. It really was. There was a lot of stuff in this. And I did love the other thing that made me laugh too, I have to admit, was Clayface saying, "I called James Gunn. We saved the movie. We're gonna be able to CGI in the mustache." That is a direct reference to, the Justice League, movie where they had to do reshoots with Henry Cavill, but, they couldn't have him shave off his mustache because of the movie that he was working on at the time, and so they CGI'd out his mustache, is what they did, which I thought was pretty funny. Raymond says, "I missed the end. Did Harley go on Psycho's, we don't know. Well, his, producer was gonna go out there and reach out to her. I don't have a producer, so, obviously. Yeah. Well, of course, King Shark is still traumatized. I mean, come on, he killed his own brother. But yeah, this is a good episode. This is a fun episode and also just a great episode. They had so much packed into it. Kudos to the writers and producers and the creators of this show. They did a really good job. So, with that said, what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, later on today, hopefully, if I can get to it, is going to be Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power, episode one is what I'm going to do today. Tomorrow is going to be episode 2. Sunday is going to be the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast stuff, where I take the genre news of the week and any genre stuff you guys want to talk about, and we talk about it. Monday is going to be House of the Dragon. Tuesday is going to be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? It's going to be the Amazon movie Samaritan with Sylvester Stallone. Samaritan is what I'm going to be doing on Tuesday. Wednesday, I'll be off. Thursday will be the other doubleheader of She-Hulk and Harley Quinn. That's where we wrap up with that there. So, with that said, I'm going to thank everyone who joined me today in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, why? Take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule. I change it every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages as well. With that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the rest of the day. Well, at least until later on this evening. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may get sucked into someone else's mind, and it's some freaky, freaky shit in there. So watch out. Because, if you die in the head, you die outside, die for real. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again, in a little bit here at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. And like I just said already, it's been a long drive yesterday. It really was. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again in a little bit at 6 p.m. Until then, have a good rest of your day and see you then. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.